What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Token and the Truth, where we are officially live and ready to move and groove into some amazing topics today. I'm Lady Drea Renee, and I'm joined by my co-host, who will be here on the screen. There he is.
Yes, it's your main man, Freddie B. We are back again another Tuesday, right back at it, guys. Make sure you tap in with us on our YouTube. If you're not tapping on our YouTube, go tap in right now. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, subscribe, all of it. It's all free and it's all support, and we appreciate it. Drea and I appreciate it. Right back another week with a great discussion about, relationships with with everybody's favorite modern woman and everybody's favorite traditional man, right?
Did you just call yourself medicinal or traditional?
No, I said everybody's favorite modern woman and everybody's favorite traditional man.
Okay, I thought you said medicinal. I'm medicinal, and I would like to make that very clear. You can be both, my friends. You don't have to pick one. You can be a combo pack, which I actually talk about on my other podcast. And I gave you a shout out, Freddie, on tomorrow's clip. You get a shout out. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it so much. But
Oh
yeah,
Lord, I'm scared now. I'm very, very scared.
yeah. Today, we're going to be talking about dating and social media, how it's killed it or not killed it. You can feel free to give us your opinions. And then we're doing the one about the guy giving the advice to the boys, right, on how to date, correct? Yes, which was
you're talking about the shade room. Yeah, we can add that in there.
Wait, then what was the other one we were doing?
Because you had sent me the one dude that was like, just because you tell a girl the truth about what she wants.
Oh, I don't have that one pulled up. The black guy with the glasses?
Uh-huh.
Let me see. Where did I send you that at?
You sent that to our page. That was the last one in the page.
Oh, okay. Okay, I do have that one up. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay, we can do that. The shade one was good too.
We could definitely tap into that. You sent me that. Some of you guys seen on Shade Room kind of went. Well, everything on Shade Room go viral. I think. I don't know.
Everything on Shade Room goes viral. It's crazy. Yeah. Everything. It's actually really cool. Good for them. So we're gonna show you the first clip. Thank you guys. Make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe. Do all the things when you guys are watching. We appreciate it. So the first clip we're gonna show you is from Professor Galloway, is his name. And I thought this was really profound, what he talks about with dating and how social media has impacted, like dating apps in particular, how it's impacted things. So we're going to show you this first. Here we go.
Yeah, he kind of likened it to e-commerce, how e-commerce has changed shopping. How e-commerce has messed up shopping, which that's an interesting conversation, even in and of itself.
Right, because Freddie, when's the last time you went to the mall to buy something?
When I was in the Philippines in January.
Okay, but you weren't here.
No, I was not. No, I wasn't. The mall in the Philippines the malls there are like insane. It's like,
so you like have to go.
Yeah. It's like a thing in the Philippines. It's a thing. So if you ever end up there, go to the mall. But guys, like you guys coming in, we're about to play this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends and tap in with our YouTube. If you're not on our YouTube, please tune in on our YouTube so we can see your comments quicker, easier, and we can communicate with you guys better. And if you want to tap in, we can bring you up because Drea may say something that may strike your nerves and you need to let your voice heard. And you can do that.
Or Freddie might say something that strikes the nerve. I had a friend call me yesterday. And she's like, oh my God, literally with Freddie, I cannot. Babe, I literally cannot. I'm like, you should come on the show and tell him.
Yeah, what's the deal? Like, here's the thing. I think
first of all, she's in her late 20s. Okay. So these comments that you're making about being super traditional. Hi, Mom. Thank you for watching on YouTube. These comments that you're making about being super traditional and all these things, people they want nothing to do with that. They want nothing.
Yeah, I'll probably eat her up. You're right. I'll probably she in her 20s. I'll probably eat her up. Yeah.
No, because Freddie, there's a different generation coming around now that have a different idea of things. They just do. And I keep trying to tell you this, but you do not listen to me. You don't listen to me. They're just like,
shout out to Mon Dukes.
They're going to do what they want to do. And that's right. Freddie. Okay. and they don't agree.
Hey, tell all your friends I'm here. I ain't ducking no smoke. I ain't ducking no smoke.
I know
I'm
you're
here.
not ducking any smoke, Freddie. Okay, well, let's get on to Professor Galloway. Okay, so basically he's saying dating apps turning dating into a mix of the haves and the have-nots. The most attractive people on the platform score the largest share of the matches, whereas the vast majority receive very few. And this is mainly pointed at men, but I will let him explain. Okay, once I turn it up.
Simply put, it's a disaster. Whenever technology comes into an industry, it consolidates it. Mating has been consolidated in the worst way. 50 men on Tinder, 50 women. 46 of the women show all of their attention to just 4 men, leaving 46 men pursuing just 4 women. If mating was a country, it would be more unequal than Venezuela. We have huge mating inequality. And here's the problem. When people don't get together and there's no pheromones and there's no vibe, women, and we don't like to say this on the left, primarily try and make very quick assumptions about this individual's ability to garner resources in the future. So what you have is this concentration of interest, and you're ending up with Porsche polygamy, where 10% of the men get 90% of the attention, which does not lead to good behavior or form long-term relationships. E-commerce was disastrous for retail. Social media was disastrous for everybody. Online dating is disastrous for mating and for men. It's terrible.
Wow.
Hey, play that. Play it one more time. Yeah.
You asked about the phone. Simply put, it's a disaster. Whenever technology comes into an industry, it consolidates it. Mating has been consolidated in the worst way. 50 men on Tinder, 50 women. 46 of the women show all of their attention to just 4 men, leaving 46 men pursuing just 4 women. If mating was a country, it would be more unequal than Venezuela. We have huge mating inequality. And here's the problem. When people don't get together and there's no pheromones and there's no vibe, women, and we don't like to say this on the left, primarily try and make very quick assumptions about this individual's ability to garner resources in the future. So what you have is this concentration of interest, and you're ending up with Porsche polygamy, where 10% of the men get 90% of the attention, which does not lead to good behavior or form long-term relationships. E-commerce was disastrous for retail. Social media was disastrous for everybody. Online dating is disastrous for mating and for men. It's terrible.
Wow. I mean,
What do you think about that, Drea?
well, I gotta say, I agree. I don't think about it in the way that he said it initially, because when I'm online dating, as a woman, you do get a fair amount of attention, but I do know men have said they don't always, unless they're like extremely good looking. And so what you're trying to decipher as a woman is, like he says here, women generally look for intelligence, a solid career, sense of humor, looks, height, and emotional intelligence. Men's biggest requirement, on the other hand, is simple: a good looking woman, which is easy to depict in a profile pic. But there's nuances obviously required of men. And so they kind of struggle presenting themselves on dating apps, or they say things and you're just like, okay, this is dumb. And so I mean, he's right. I guess thinking about the percent of men that are actually getting attention from all the women is going to essentially garner bad behavior from those men, because then they have all the choices. And then the men who like don't get that much attention, maybe get some attention, maybe they turn into sort of these like little like dogs who'll do anything because they're getting matches. And I'm not saying that for all the men. I'm just, speaking generally. And yeah, I mean, online dating, I think it is disastrous, because it creates this numbness, and you almost like disassociate the human aspect of dating, where you're not even seeing people as people anymore. And I know for sure, like over my years of online dating, you can kind of fall into that. You're having so many conversations, it gets overwhelming. And then what also can end up happening is that when you do finally connect with someone, you're so overwhelmed by it, especially as a woman, because there are boxes that we want to check off as a woman. And then men are just, looking for that visual aspect, and then obviously hoping that the woman's not a kook and acting, she's going to act crazy. It's true. But yeah, women definitely have more requirements. And I do think that online dating, just like he said, and I never thought about this with the e-commerce aspect, that it is disastrous for dating, because as this continues to be the way, Instagram, all the things, all the options, there are people less inclined. And I showed you that other clip about situationships, to go into being into a committed relationship. Like, less people want to do that because they're like, oh, if this one person does something I don't like, then I'm just going to go to somebody else. And that, I think, is terrible for the structure of family moving forward and into our future. Because now people are just like, I don't have to do this. That person, I didn't like the way they text, I'm moving on. And that's just what it is. So he's right. But I didn't specifically think about it with the aspect of men, and how the guys that are getting the attention and that are attractive, how that does sort of breed some bad behavior if 4% of men are getting all the attention.
Yeah, I mean, if there's 100 women, 100 men, and 4 of the men are getting the attention of 95 of the women.
I mean, yeah, why would you act accordingly? I mean, it kind of allows for you to just do the bare minimum. You don't really even have to do that much. Because
You can have a squad. Like each one of them dudes can have a squad of minimum 5. Easy.
But that's
they
really
have 5 chicks on the squad.
That's expensive.
But then again, it can get expensive, but it may not be expensive, because the thing is we all know, if a woman like you, you never, any man out there, you never have to lie to a woman, because a woman like you, she'll lie to herself. That's a common saying that is just known.
God, I hate that. I hate that phrase, but I feel that phrase. I feel it. You like a dude, man, you'll convince yourself of anything.
Right. And so then when it comes down to being expensive, like, if you wanted to do that all these chicks come at, then obviously in real life she gonna see it. And then that's what women ultimately like. That drives women more than it drives men, to be honest. Like, other people wanting your mate, that drives women more than it drives men.
You don't think men want a woman that other men want?
Listen what I said. I said it drives women more than it drives men. I didn't say it didn't exist for men. That exists for people, period. People, period, want somebody that everybody else wants. But that drives women more than it drives men. Because, interestingly enough, when we talk about ego normally is assigned to men. Men have this big ego. Men have an ego, when the fact of the matter is men and women equally both have egos. Everybody has an ego.
Agreed.
It's just that with women, it's a little more. Men is fragile, but we can see how fragile it is because it's constituted, and we can see when it breaks and all these types of things. With women, you can't see it. Women is so much more evolved and low key, and it has these deep roots that run deep, that nobody can tell when the woman's ego is broken, because she'll act a particular way, but it should be doing stuff behind the scenes that's totally sabotaging everybody involved. So women's ego is way more dangerous, and equally as fragile, but it's way more dangerous to bruise a woman's ego than it is a man's ego. Also, ask if you agree with this young man when he said what he said. If you listen closely to what he said, feel free, if you want to play it again, you can play it again. But this dating aspect and all this, it's all blown up and all askew because of women. This pee in the dating pool is because women have peed in the dating pool. Women have destroyed the dating process.
Women have destroyed the dating process?
Yes.
Freddie,
yes.
Stop it.
Yes. Women have destroyed the dating process, because this is why.
Oh my God. Okay.
You want to know why? This is why women have destroyed the dating process, because who decides who dates who? Who decides who has sex with who?
What do you mean, Freddie?
So who decides who has sex with who?
So of all time, women have destroyed dating forever?
I'm not saying it's destroyed for forever, but if it's going to be fixed, it has to be driven by women driving the fixing of dating.
Part. Yeah, the sex part.
So, because the thing is largely, if you're dating a guy, what is one of the main constitutes of if you're dating Johnny? What's one of the main things that's like, okay, we're dating?
We're having sex.
Ta-da! Women decide Women decide when and where who gonna have sex. Women make that decision.
Okay, sure. But then
And
men
so,
decide whether that's your girl or not.
no, women decide if you're gonna get married. Men decide marriages. That's men decide. Women
And
decide if
also if you
sex.
guys are together, like if he's your boyfriend.
Thus, women, the whole dating, like we're talking about dating. We're not talking about a relationship. We're talking about dating. People say there's pee in the dating pool. Just dating. Dating is building to a relationship. So that
Okay.
whole process, women have destroyed that, and largely is because of what he just said. What he just said about now it's coalesced in these dating apps, and you got women who get on, and y'all have all these stipulations on how y'all like a man, and y'all are trying to make these judgments based off a dating profile, and he has to fit within your parameters to get a swipe right. Women don't look at a man as like, okay, half fits in my parameters, half doesn't, but let's see, swipe right on that.
That's
Women
not
don't do
true,
that,
Freddie. Freddie, that's not true. Let me just speak from
generally
a person
speaking.
who is online dating. I'm telling you, when you're on the apps, it's like some, by the way, like there's not, it's not that great out there. You know what I'm saying? It's not wonderful. So depending on,
You prove my point.
depending,
Go ahead.
so right, I guess it does prove the point of like, I mean, I'm sorry, like some of these people need to like figure out what they're doing with their photos. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Like people need help. There should be like a career to help men with their online dating profiles, and someone needs to go, no, get out of the bathroom, put your shirt on, and stop standing in front of the car. Like, well, like get out of there. Get away from the fishes and the tigers and all the things. Like it's crazy. And so, yeah, when you see somebody who looks normal, you're like, okay, there's no bathroom pics. He has his shirt on. Great. You know, he's not doing all these weird poses. Like he looks like a normal person. Then, yeah, you're going to swipe on them. And there's not that many of them. That's not our fault. I don't, exactly.
No,
Thank you, Auntie, for weirdos.
no. Because here's the thing: like on my profile, I have none of that. I have no pictures with my shirt off. I have no
I saw your
pictures.
profile. Your profile's normal.
But here's the thing: I've shown my profile to many women, and each one of the women have found different things that I need to change. Various different things, and it's like it's truly insanity when you talk about a dating profile and you talking about women, because women, y'all have all these stringent levels that men have to fit in on a dating profile, on a picture and a couple of sentences. Because the thing is, some women don't just say hi. You say more than hi, then it's like, oh wait, you doing too much. You too thirsty. So now it's like this small area that you gotta fit in. If you go too far, whoa, you don't do enough. Oh, these men just ain't about nothing no more. And so the thing is this whole dating pool has been destroyed by women. Women need to get together amongst yourselves to
And you
figure
know
out
what?
how to move forward, how y'all gonna go forward with this dating thing. Because, like I said before, with the dating profile, if it's so far, if it's up, down, left, right, not on the, then it's like no. When it should be like, hey, he's in a general vicinity. Let me swipe right. Let me talk to this guy. Let me have a conversation with him. Let me go out on a date to catch the vibe, like what he said. Like people don't even understand vibes anymore. There's no vibe. There's no feeling. There's no none of that anymore because you can't even get past the first step. Men will swipe right on a chick. Obviously, she look good swiping right, but a lot of dudes are just swipe. They just be swiping right. They just swipe right based off, and
Well,
then
no, it's a
whoever they
numbers
match
thing.
with,
I've heard men.
then they talk to the girl. They'll talk to the girls, and then like, oh, okay, never mind. She weird. She doing this or whatever the case may be. Men just open up the pool and then receive what they can, and then go from there.
But men,
Women
I've
do
heard
the
men
total
just swipe
opposite.
right. Men will just swipe right on all the profiles because it's like a
Correct.
numbers thing. And then they'll just see who responds to them because they're so used to possibly, depending on what they look like, they're so used to not getting any response anyway. So, you know, they just do whatever until they get like a response. But I'm sorry, like I don't think that it's fair to be like, you know, women need to give, because listen, I've done that where you're like, okay, let me just go ahead and give this guy a chance because, you know, yeah, he looks a little weird, but let me just go ahead and try anyway. And they're freaking weird. And you're like, this is why I don't do that.
And no, and you move on. Like life is living life is a risk. Every time you step out your door, it's a risk for something wild, crazy, good, bad, or indifferent to happen. That's just life. But the thing is you learn your lessons and you move on. You take it as a learning opportunity and you move on. And that's it. Like that's the part I don't get. Like a lot of people treat online dating like it's different than meeting people in real life, because these are the same people you meet in a bar, the same people that's online. It's not that big of a difference. These are the same
But
people.
it is a bit of a difference, especially because online, depending on like what sites you're on, like you can see people from all over the world, all over the country. And so it's not the same, necessarily the same people that you're just seeing in a bar, it's just in your city. But I'm just saying, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, because the thing about you showing your profile to that many women, and I will say in defense of men, I'll ring my bell at myself, is that it's true, because my requirements for me that will work for me, like I had a girlfriend, we were arguing about a first date, and I was like, I just want to go for coffee. Like, I don't want to go have a meal with someone. And she's like, if somebody asks me to go to coffee, I absolutely will just block them. And I'm like, why? You don't know them. Like, why do you want to go sit at a nice restaurant with this guy unless you guys have like a great FaceTime and you're talking for like weeks or whatever. But like for a first meeting, I'm like, even if I like you, like, let's just do something like low stakes, because then you can both leave if you don't like each other. But some women are different. And so that's why, like, when you do find somebody, and you're right too about the hello or the hi, how does the conversation go? Because if somebody's giving me short answers, then I'm out. If somebody gives me long answers, then I'm in. But it could be the reverse for like another woman who's like, oh, he's saying too much. He's doing too
Which is why what I said, dating has been ruined by women. The emancipation of women have
Oh, God,
ruined
stop it,
dating.
Freddie.
Ruined dating. That's just it may not sound fair, but life ain't fair. There's a lot of
It
stuff
does
that
not
happened in
sound
life
fair to say
that ain't
dating
fair.
have ruined dating, but we do have more requirements. That's why when you meet someone cute and then you get a connection with them, you just kind of you hang in there. You got to figure it out. You want to make it work, because
Man, it's
online
just like,
dating is terrible.
for example, LeBron James' son could get drafted into the NBA when he ain't on nobody's board, but he gonna get drafted because his dad want to play with him. It ain't fair that Bronny Jr. just gonna get drafted just off the strength of that. When if his name was not Bronny James, he would not get drafted.
Oh,
It
is
ain't
he not
fair.
good? I don't know. I don't know his
No,
basketball.
he's good, but he's not a polished prospect worthy to get drafted in two. It's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft. Each team gets 2 picks based on, like, generally speaking, only get 2 picks. And so none of the 32 teams, I think it is, they have them on their boards to get picked. It's better players out there. But it's a
He's
team
LeBron
that at
James'
least in the
son.
second round, they'll take a flyer on Bronny James, because it's like, if I draft him, I get his daddy too.
Right.
That ain't fair to other dudes out here who've been working, who better than him, this, that, and the third. But it's life. Life ain't fair. So going back to my point, dating has been ruined
Oh
by
my God.
women.
Okay, Freddie, you already said it.
It's
And
been
listen,
ruined by women.
but then the thing is, I don't know. They need to
That's
get
what
better
it is.
profiles, because the thing is, Freddie, there's so much garbage that the men who actually look normal, then you see a normal profile and you're like, oh my God, okay. You're like, oh my God, okay. Yeah, let me just see what's going on with that guy, because there's a
But
lot of weird profiles out there.
I mean, it might be, but to your point, what you said earlier, like, things vary wildly from woman to woman. Y'all are literally all over the place. Men,
Yes,
you got
that's
like a
fair.
general,
That's fair.
like, when
That's fair.
when we're dating, men are just like looking for the matches. And like, since only those 3-4% dudes that they know if they swipe right, it's gonna be a match. They know that, so they're a little more discerning. Like, okay, hey, wait, I can't, and they're more discerning because they just simply can't handle the volume of matches that they're getting. It doesn't make sense for them to swipe right on everybody, because it'll be swipe right thing. Woo! All the animation that y'all are match, swipe right. Another animation that you match,
Come on,
swipe right.
Freddie.
And it's like, I can't entertain. I can't actually get through all these women. So now I have to be a little more discerning to actually make it manageable, that I can make it through all these women and message them. It's a dude I know. His is like that. I was with him one time, and he was like, I was on his Tinder, I was on his Bumble, And he was like, bro, I mean, he was like, yeah, most dudes swipe right. Most dudes I know they swipe right. He was like, I can't do that. Because if I swipe right, it'll be a match. He was like, watch this. He's like, oh, I like her. Let me watch this. It's gonna be a
So
match.
he is
Right.
in the minority.
He swiped right, boom, match. We got this other chick who was very like, she was homely looking, very regular.
Ew.
He was like, ordinarily I wouldn't swipe right on her, but watch this. Swipe right, it's gonna be a match. Swipe right, boom, another match. Got this one chick who was ugly. She
Come
was
on.
horrible.
If she,
She
yeah,
was
she's
horrible.
ugly.
He was like, watch this. I'm gonna swipe right, but I'm gonna delete her right after I swipe right because I don't like it. But I'm just showing you that it's going. He swipe right, boom, another match. I was like, oh my God. Like,
I mean, look,
I ain't never
get
seen
what
before.
you're saying, but that is not the average experience of the
That is my point. Generally
Okay.
speaking, dudes will swipe right and then entertain the chick to see like, okay, where she is. If she's cool, let's meet up. Or they just meet or want to meet up with her off top. If she's cool, like, okay, they'll keep talking to her. But if they text her or whatever and she weird, she ain't replying, it's like, I forget it. And then they
That's a
move
whole other
on.
thing too. The like conversations that get lost in the dust. You know, there's so many of those too. And people have that mentality going in as well. So then people are just kind of like, whatever. You know, they don't have the energy to keep entertaining all these people. And you get kind of used to people like disappearing. You just do.
That's crazy. But the moral of the story, women have ruined dating, and we got to
Okay, that's
figure out
not the moral of the story. The moral of
how
the story is men need to get out of the bathroom and stop taking pictures with their shirts off.
nigga, you looking at somebody who's out the bathroom and don't have any pictures of their shirt off, and it's still like, oh my freaking God. It's still a headache out here. It's
Well, I'm
still
off
a
Hinge,
headache out
so
here.
I deleted my Hinge, so I'm done with that.
You deleted your Hinge?
I deleted it.
You deleted everything or just Hinge?
Everything.
Why?
I was only on Hinge, really. So
Why?
it doesn't matter why it's deleted.
There you go. But yes, the internet technology has ruined a lot of things. E-commerce, social media ruined interactions with people, and the dating apps have ruined dating. And in the conduit, women have used dating apps to ruin dating.
And so have men. Men have ruined dating as well.
No.
Thank you.
No.
I just got to throw it in just because. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Freddie, stop it. We're moving on to our next topic, which is, this is an interesting one. Freddie, can you explain this one? I'm going to find it.
This is which one you doing? This the high school.
Your intentions, the one you wrote about.
Oh, so like this next one. So this guy, he's talking about intentions with a relationship. We're gonna get into this clip. This clip, he's this kind of get into morality, which kind of varies from person to person. I will say that. So let me put that disclaimer out there for all of our viewers. I do understand that my morality is not the same as Drea's morality, is not the same as Tanisha's morality, not the same as Becky's morality, not the same as Chad's morality. So it varies. But what he's saying is, in this clip, he's talking about, people being truthful, but then hiding behind those inconvenient truths, and you using that as essentially a crutch to where, like, hey, look, I said this, but you're showing something different.
Yes. Yes. Okay, hold on.
So I mean, it kind of goes back to your actions lining up with your words. You want to make sure you buffer what you say with your actions. You don't just do it.
Yes, but it also, I like what he says though, because it doesn't just mean because you said X that you can just get to act like a darn fool with the person and be like, oh, well, I told her. No, you still have responsibility for a person's feelings. Okay, let's listen.
The sense that I knew that I didn't want anything serious with this woman, and I knew she wanted something serious with me.
Right.
And instead of leaving her alone, I took what I could get out of it. And at the end of the day, when she was crying her tears, I could hide behind the fact that, hey, I told you what was up.
Yeah.
And that is the game plan and the strategy and the mindset that so many of us as men live by is, I told you what was up.
Yeah.
How can I be wrong if I'm telling you the truth?
Right.
Well, the truth is, just because you're an honest man doesn't make you a righteous man.
Right.
Your actions make you righteous. Your actions make you moral. So just because you tell somebody the truth, but you still go and do the wrong thing, your honesty doesn't absolve you from your guilt.
Right.
That'd be like me telling somebody, hey, I'm just letting you know, I'm probably gonna kill you at the end of this podcast, Rex. And then I go do it. Do I get off the hook with God? Do I get off the hook with the jury being a manipulator in the sense?
I love this clip so much because I feel like this is very prevalent right now with people being like, oh, we're in a situationship, we're in the talking phase. He said he doesn't know what he wants. A person still shows up. Now, look, I agree that you're an adult for the most part, depending on what age you are, and you can make decisions for yourself. Somebody tells you something and you hear them and then you move forward with them anyway. But I do think there is something to be said for a person who continues with someone knowing that this person is catching like insane feelings for them, and they start taking advantage of that, knowing that this person is on the verge of, or like taking advantage of them, like sacrificing things for them, doing stuff for them, going the extra mile. And they're like, yeah, I told you I don't want to be in a relationship. At that point, once it's no longer casual for one party, I do think there is responsibility on the other person's part to move away from that person or in the relationship. I do think that that's a real thing. I've definitely been in those situations. I keep freezing. I've definitely been in those situations before. And, certain friends of mine would say, well, girl, yeah, he told you. Yeah, he told you. And yeah, I get that. But I do think what he said is great because it does put some responsibility on the other person too, to be like, oh yeah, well, I probably should have left Drea alone because she was catching real feelings for me. And this is like so widespread right now in conjunction with what we were talking about earlier with, yes, I get what you're saying, Power Man BO, but there is still responsibility on the other person's part too. It can't just be simply that, oh, he told you, that's it. It can be a little bit more nuanced than that, especially when you start seeing that a person is having these insane reactions. And yes, you can move on, Aunt Vicky, but and depending on where you are in that situation, I don't think it's fair to put zero responsibility on the other person. I do not think that. So I actually thought this was a great clip, because I do think it's fair to say that someone should end things if you see that the other person is like emotionally overwhelmed and they're just not going to do that. And it's very easy to start taking advantage of people in those situations, like, oh, I'm just going to come over when I want. And of course, that person really likes you, then they're just going to do it. But I do think there should be some sort of morality on that person's part to be like, oh, I'm probably really hurting this person, so I need to end this. But again, it is your responsibility if you do show up and the person has told you. I do get that. But I do understand what he's saying. Frederick?
Um, I think he's absolving the other party too much of responsibility. Like I said, like morality is an interesting thing because there's no. It's like, where's the line to really make a definitive statement? So, like, for example, what he's saying is going to be different for somebody who's a Christian, going to be different for somebody who's an atheist, going to be different for somebody who has different religious beliefs, who are brought up differently. So it's going to vary in those things. That's why people I never really get when people say be a good person. Like, what is a good person? You know what I mean? Because a good person is relative, right? Okay. It's relative. It's very subjective because in your eyes, somebody can approach a situation. Let's say, for example, speaking about money, somebody can approach a situation and handle it one particular way. You're like, oh, that's a good person. You can pose that same situation to me, and I can look at it and be like, no, they're not a good person because they actually should have did this too. They were on the way to being a good person, but they didn't finish the job, type deal. So, but what he's saying right here, I think he's absolving the person who's taking advantage of responsibility, because the thing is, at the end of the day, we're all adults and you have to take responsibility for yourself first and foremost. So his analogy, his analogy was a good analogy because it matched what he said. Some people do bad analogies and they don't match what they said. His matched what he said. It was good, but it's still faulty because he said, that's like if I say I'm gonna kill you after this podcast and I do it, like, does that make me a better person? The thing is that if I'm sitting here, me and you doing a podcast, and I say I'm gonna kill you, and you just sit there and just continue to do the podcast, you don't do anything different. Some of that is like, Drea, like the man said at the beginning of the podcast, he gonna kill you at the end of the podcast, and you just sat there, finished the podcast out, and then he killed you, started killing you looking goofy. Like, I would imagine if somebody said they're gonna kill me at the top of the podcast, I'd be like, oh really? I mean, if I'm gonna stay, I'm about to mount up to get ready. Because if you do kill me, be ready that you could get killed too, or I'm going to leave. I'm immediately out. You don't get the chance to. I'm not gonna just sit there like you didn't say that. Like it will be. You will see a visual change in me that I heard what you said and I registered. So things are gonna be different. So the same thing with the person now. That person is still bad. So I think both sides carry weight in his example. The person who said the truth and then still manipulated the person, but also the person who heard that person said it and then just sat there and then let it happen. Like we at some point in time, it's not victim blaming. It's you have to take accountability for yourself of what you're gonna do in the positions that you place yourself in.
100%, Freddie. I totally agree with you. I'm just saying
What do
there
you do?
is that space for the guy or girl, because it can go both ways. It can go both ways. Like I've dated people who I knew really freaking liked me and they would do anything for me. And I had to like step out of that situation because I was like, I'm not feeling this person like that. I don't want to take advantage of this situation. Right. And even if you did tell the person, hey, I need to go slower. I don't know if I really want to do this. And the person keeps showing up and you know, and you see that they're getting invested in you. I do think that you have some responsibility to kind of back away from the situation. I'm not saying that guy just gets to be absolved of all responsibility. Like, no, he obviously, well, hopefully is hearing what I'm saying, but sometimes people they're in their emotions and they kind of can't see past that. Like what you said at the beginning, if a woman likes you, she will lie to herself, right? She
And
will.
so,
You don't
like,
even
so
have to.
these things, him saying that these things happens more so a man to a woman. Like the woman is thinking this, that, and the third, and the dude tells her X, and then she does what she want to do. It happens more so with that because of the fact of what I said. And women are led by emotions, and so sometimes women will let their emotions sweep them away down this river to where there's no return or whatever the case may be. And so also what I hear him saying, I'm sounding like he's talking about like because you have different levels of relationships. You got the beginning part, which you're speaking to, which it sounds like he's speaking to. You first meet somebody, and this person immediately is smitten over you, but then the other person is not smitten. They're still like trying to figure it out. They're like, I don't know. But this person like, I know, and I want to be with you. You got that
Exactly.
level. You got that level, but you also got like a deeper level in where somebody could be with somebody and then they are dating, but then something happened. It's like, well, I don't like this person no more, and this person's still like, but I love you, type deal. That's when you got it's a little more. The hooks, things are more entwined. It's a little bit different. Things are there's more things at stake. At the beginning part, like yes, when you talk about that person and they're really digging there, they're trying to dig their hooks in to really take advantage of that person. Like, yeah, that speaks about the type of person that person is. Like, they are a manipulative, evil person
Exactly.
that they can look at somebody and know, like, I don't really like them, but I can see they like me, and so I'm just gonna flip them for my own game. But then, like I said, but then with that, if that person is doing that, but then before they do that, they tell the person like, "Hey, I don't like you like this. I don't like you how you like me. You like me a lot. I don't like you." They explicitly tell the person that, and the person just runs right by that and still just feeds into them. That person still has to take accountability for their ineptitude. Like that is
No,
that is something that you did
absolutely.
that is inept. And like I think sometimes a lot of times we run wild with victim blaming. Like, why are you victim blaming? Why are you victim blaming in a lot of different situations? But the thing is that a lot of times everybody can agree to this, that we end up in situations that bad things happen to us because we overran red flags and red lights, and we put ourselves in the situation for bad things to happen, for somebody to take advantage of us. When if you look at it, you know, I shouldn't even been here. If I would have paid attention and actually listened to the signs, I shouldn't even been in a situation for this person to even take advantage of me in this way. And I think that we have to take accountability for those things.
Absolutely, Freddie. I agree with you. And if somebody is saying to you, I don't like you in that way, I don't like you in that way, and they're consistently telling you that, and you keep showing up to that, that is a different thing. So I feel like the dating part of like, hey, we can do this. I'm going to date you and do all the things that a boyfriend would do. But I don't know where I'm going with this. But you're getting involved and you're hanging out and you're seeing that this person is developing feelings. And maybe you aren't saying, I don't like you like that, or I need to go slow, or I'm still trying to figure things out. I don't want to commit to you. You know, and you're listening to that, but you're still doing it. I think that's where it can get a little funny. And I think that there has to be responsibility on the other person's part. I don't think it's as simple as I told you, that's it. I don't have any responsibility anymore. You're your own person. So I agree that person still has to show up and listen, but I do understand what he's saying. I do understand what he's saying.
I think a more apt analogy that he should have said is like, if that's like, if, for example, if you live in a neighborhood, Dre, you live in the Meadowlands, nice neighborhood of houses, you live there. I'm a cat burglar. I make an announcement over your neighborhood's loudspeaker, like, hey, I'm Freddie the cat burglar. I'm coming to the Meadowlands and I'm about to rob me some houses. Everybody in the neighborhood hear me say, I'm coming to rob me some houses. Ordinarily, y'all all leave y'all doors unlocked because y'all live in a gated neighborhood and you only can get in unless you live there and it's super safe. And you never bother about locking your doors. You leave your door open. It's one of those type of neighborhoods. But one day you hear this announcement. After you hear this announcement, the next day you still leave your door open like business as usual. And then your house get hit. You come home and everything gone.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody broke into my home.
Right. Now, in that case, am I still the bad guy? Yes, I'm still the bad guy. But also,
why did you lock your door?
The nigga made the announcement. He made the announcement. Everybody heard it. But you still left your, like, why you wait for him to get caught so we know you off the streets? And then, okay, you can go back to
make sure that he got something to eat while he was burglarizing the houses.
Got something to eat. You know, that can go a lot of ways. That can go a lot of ways. Are you at home or you not at home? I'm just saying. I didn't know where you was going with that when you said you want him to get something to eat. Did you stay at home or did you leave the house?
I'm done with you. I am so done with you.
Hey, Dre, we know how. Hey,
okay, relax. That's not what I meant. I meant, speaking of emotional women, like, let me give him a little food or something. Maybe he's hungry. He's been robbing houses all night.
You give him a little food.
I'm like, well, maybe she's at home single. She's like, hey, what's up? I don't know.
There you go. You sitting there, you break in the house. You like, oh, hey, how you doing? Hi. You got just like the little moo-moo on with nothing underneath. And you just you crossing your legs, flip flopping, and then now you sitting with they just open like that.
Jewelry. I'm like, okay, well, let me make you a turkey sandwich real quick. Hold on.
You looking like it's been a long time, sir. It's been a long time.
Relax. Okay, thank you.
Hey, I mean, Dre, come on. You know those times. Like if it's like 2 months, how you start feeling?
No, I don't know anything about that. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Sometimes it's like that, but no, yeah.
Sometimes
so
it is like that, Freddie. That is very true. Sometimes it is like that.
Right. Let's you want to do the last clip of the high school teacher?
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll do the last clip of the high school teacher on Shade Room who's giving advice to men. I struggled with this one a little bit, and I didn't think that I would because of how dating is these days. I'm like, I definitely want there to be more gentlemen in the world. Like, please keep the gentlemen. We need them. Please, please, please. But it's a little rough.
A modern woman want more gentlemen. Ain't that something?
Hey, Freddie, stop saying that. I'm additional. I am both.
Guys, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share with a friend, and go to our YouTube. I just saw Power Man VO. Go to our YouTube. It's right here at the bottom. You see it right here at the bottom. The Token of the Truth. Go to the YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are notified when we go live. And it's way easier. We can see the comments way better. Shout out to Felicia. That's Auntie Felicia, right? But she's trying to stick around to show. Let's see this. She's trying to stick around to show how loyal she is to Hope. They change their mind about them. She's building his confidence.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is not the move.
You done started something, Dre. Look.
What'd I start?
It was Auntie Veronica with vagina tingles.
Yes, Auntie with the vagina tingles. We're making it a movement. The vagina tingles are real. Let's not get afraid to say the word vagina. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Hey. All the real ones, all the real dudes out there know it's real.
It's real. And when you got the vagina tingles for someone, you lose a little sense of reason. That's for sure.
Not a little.
To go back and think about what they were saying. All right. So watches this mentor shows his young students how to conduct themselves in a day. He's yelling the whole time, but he makes a good message. Dating
and she's the waiter. We come in, the men open the door for the lady. It's the form of I honor you. Men, we gotta make sure we're sitting where the door is. The reason why is because I gotta see who coming in that boy. It's a form of protection. So she sit down, I sit down. Allow her to order first. Like we like sex, they like food. Look, she's smiling. She can't even stop smiling. The cheeseburger face. Now, I'm spending time with your mind, and we're not just sitting there looking crazy. Dating, and she's the waiter. We come in.
I love it. I'm here for it. What's the next one?
What did you do wrong?
Okay, here we go.
Go back.
You graduated early?
No, still in high school. What would you guys like today? Today we having a silk going on.
What's gonna be the name?
It's gonna be called Blue.
You like coffee? You drink tea? Right. I will start feeding to my personality. That makes sense.
I see your hair messy.
Oh. So what happened is she's controlling the conversation. Y'all see that? Even though that might not be your personality, we have to grow out of that shell and show more of who we are.
In my class today, we learned about relationships. How the new generation ain't really talking. They'll just drive.
I ain't never been like taught like this, nothing like this, like how to start a conversation with a female, like how to keep a conversation going, how to like try to find out like certain things that we like about each other, like stuff like that.
What did you do wrong?
Oh my God. I am obsessed with this man. I'm obsessed with this class. And I hope that there could be more of this in the world. Do not, Freddie, I already see you gearing up. I'm going to ring my bell at you already. Because I already see you gearing up. I already know what you're going to say. How can you request this? If you're a medicinal woman, blah, 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 blah. But let me tell you, Freddie, you can do the combo and you can be both. You can be both. This is amazing. Teaching men where to sit, where to walk on the sidewalk, where how to listen to a woman. This is absolutely amazing. And this does not mean if you like this, then you have to be all the way traditional. That does not mean that, Freddie. It does not mean that. You can do both. Stop. I already see the face that you're making. But I think this is so beautiful. And I think this is going to spawn a great group of people. And even for women to kind of like know some of these things. As that young man said, people aren't talking like this anymore. This is not what the generations are doing. They're online. They're communicating online, but then they get in person and nobody knows how to talk or communicate. Nobody wants to commit. Nobody wants to do anything. I think this is beautiful. I think this is very beautiful. I'm here for this. Go ahead, Freddie. I'm annoyed already. I already know what you're going to say. Go ahead. Oh my God.
So,
I'm going to ring my bell back at you.
Ring your bell. You ring, you get your bell rung over there? Okay. All right, look. So,
yeah, my business, Freddie. Sir, thank you. Please.
I'm across the country. So you initially said that you didn't know how to feel about this, though.
Okay. Yes, I did say that because I feel like there is less and less of this energy now, and people don't treat each other like we're human beings trying to have a connection. Like everyone's like about situationships, doing the minimum. Like no one is really about actual dating in this way. This is becoming like an antiquated thing to really treat a person this way. So that's why I was like, I'm conflicted on how to feel about this. I think it's great and I hope this continues, but I just know the way that the generation is going and it's unfortunately not like this. That's why.
I mean, well, with this, I'm fine with this. Only thing kind of was like weird when he mentioned, you like sex, don't you? And, like these are high school students.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah. He was like, you like sex, don't you? And some like you like food and we like sex or something like that. I don't think that was necessary. Me personally. Yeah. I mean, because the thing is I think regardless of what people say, people are like, oh, people in high school, they having sex anyway, and people just like to to throw it all away and just go with that. They having sex anyway, so now we got to I think that I'm still of one that believes like in high school, like teach them about the sexual organs, like biology, and so they understand these things because obviously they need to know them because they're going through puberty and these things are changing and they're going into adulthood, so they need to know about their bodies. So they know how to take care of themselves. But talking about sex in a social aspect, I think that is something that, hopefully the parents talk about. If not, then then there should be something in college that talks about sex as it pertains to a social aspect. But overall, to what he's saying, I think this kind of relates to the very first clip that we saw talking about dating, because he's talking about like dating and courting, that whole deal. And you even mentioned it. Like this clip shows a lot about what men should be doing for women. It doesn't say anything about what women should be doing, how women should be receiving this, and how they should be how they should be reciprocating any of this. So then what happens is that these boys, like let's say, these boys, let's say 100%, all these boys catch what he's saying and they bottle it all up, and they start to implement all this. The thing is that then they go out into the dating world, start to date, which I've just said, women have destroyed dating. And the reason why women have destroyed dating, based off what we saw initially, then with this, you got all these boys who then pull her seat out, walk on his side, open her door, make sure they take care of the chick, make sure they let her lead, let her talk, listen to her, do all these things to come to meet her where she is. But then vice versa, none of these women know how to actually be a traditional woman and meet this man where he is, and how to reciprocate this energy to actually treat him like a man. So then all these men do all this, they get hurt, they get burned. They're like, why? Because men have logical minds. So then we go to like, why are we doing this? Why am I doing all this? Because they look a little bit older. They're 25. Then they start looking at men who are 30 who had the same realization, and they flip. They look at those men, and then those men doing whatever and living their life, making money, and they travel overseas, knock off a chick here, and continue on. They're like, hold on, wait, I'm spending all this money, putting all this effort in, and just to get maybe what they getting. It don't add up. So then the cycle continues to where then now they're 30. They're just like the men they saw, got this new crop of boys, and they just keep cycling because the women never understand how to be a traditional woman. If you wanted, because he's teaching these boys how to be traditional men. So then you don't have any traditional women to meet these traditional men, and then the dudes be like, F it. Like, I'm just gonna do whatever, make money, use my money to leverage that to get some buns for chick. And then when I decide I want to settle down, I'll settle down.
Okay, I see what you're saying, and I will say there should be more information on the other side for women. I will say that is a very important thing, because you end up missing the mark, and then it ends up creating a vibe of we don't have to do anything other than we just get to be there and look nice. And then men have to kind of show up a certain way. And then if you don't understand the language of how to present yourself to a man, and I personally, as you know, we're going to clash on this, don't think this necessarily is only around being traditional. I think this is just how to show up to the opposite sex, period. However you want to have your relationship, but Freddie, however you want to have the relationship, period, and understanding how to navigate that. It doesn't have to just be in this traditional manner, but understanding how a man's mind doesn't necessarily work like a woman's mind. This doesn't necessarily have to be in the traditional box, but if you are in the traditional box, that's amazing for you. Congratulations. But I do think there is something to be said for, we should have a class where there is a woman teaching women how to respond to a man that is doing all these things, because you're right. That's what ends up happening. These men do it. My sister was actually telling me a story about a friend of hers who is 25 doing all these amazing things for this girl, and she's treating him like garbage, and he's losing his mind, and he's literally 25, and he's such a sweetheart, she said. And I'm like, oh no, I hope she doesn't ruin him. And then he's going to be like, well, I'm not doing all of this anymore because it's not really getting me anywhere. And it's not true. There are women who want nice men. There are women who want nice men.
But the thing is it's not that she's going to ruin him. What's going to happen is, like I said, men are logical. Like 2 + 2 is 4. We're led by a logical thinking. So what's going to happen is he's going to see what he's doing, and he knows what his ultimate goal is. And so then he's going to eventually get around men and see other men who are achieving his goal, or doing things that look cool, and doing things that's fun, and all these types of things. And they're not doing nearly what he's doing, because they're older, they're deeper in their career, they got a little more money, and then they're around women who then now on the flip side, because the thing is, I guarantee he's 25, he's probably dealing with a woman who's around that age, 25, 24, 23, 22, who she's in her prime. And so he's a man that's not in his prime, dealing with a woman who is in her prime, and she's taking advantage of that, not understanding that she's about to age out of her prime, and he's about to age into his prime. So then the board and the seesaw is going to be flipped. And so then he's going to see men that's like, oh, this guy who's 35, who he's in his earning prime, he this and third, and now he gets women his age. He also gets women in his 20s. He gets women the age that the chick I'm talking to now. So he has this broader scope to choose from, and he's not doing nearly what I'm doing. He's not running himself ragged nearly how I am. Like, hold on, wait. So you mean to tell me as a man, I should just chase the money and not chase the women? Because if I chase the money, then the women come with it? Oh. And so then he redirects his focus like, let me chase the money, because once I get the money, the women come with it. I don't need to chase the women.
Oh, this is all so sad to me. Well, let's just hope, Freddie, by doing this podcast, that we are changing one mind at a time.
Because to your sister's point, it's a lot of women who, what I just said, they get and they understand, like, hey, I don't want to age out my prime. I'm in my prime now. Let me pluck one out now. Let me pluck a good one now and get out the game. So when I age out of my prime, I'm out the game. And so I don't care about a prime anymore. And a lot of women do that. I got this one dude I went to school with. His name is Maya. Interesting enough, his name is Maya. And he's not that rah guy with the edge that the girls like and all that type of stuff, but he got the little soft hair like the girls like. That's about it.
Shut up, Freddie.
But he don't have no edge at all. And his name is Maya. His name is Maya Lock. His name is Maya.
He wasn't set up for an edge. He really wasn't.
But the thing is he got a wife. He got if you could create a family, it would be his family. He got a wife. They got 3 kids, a boy, girl, boy. His wife is love. He loved the hell out of his wife. He makes sure she good. She be every picture he posts, she glowing. He talking about his wife and what he did for her birthday, what he did for anniversary. He women just be looking at that thing like, God, I want to do like him. You could have had a dude like him if that guy who didn't have an edge was just a nice guy who was on that track to make money. He was an engineering major. He went at all the parties. He wasn't trying to be cool. If you would have gave that dude a chance, you would be out the game with a guy who making cash, who worships you, who takes care of everything in the house. His wife don't work. She just be he living the life that all these women want. But she got him. I think she got him right out of college, right after they left college.
For her, the majority of women are not in that boat, and they want to go have their hot girl summer, and then
exactly, and they end up in their 30s, and it's like. A lot of dudes like you gotta look when you in your 30s, you gotta look at the dudes in their late 40s, 50s.
Shut up, Freddie. Oh my God, this is why my homegirls have a problem with you. Okay, this is not all.
They got a problem with me. How men look at y'all.
Freddie, relax. Okay.
I'm just actually all your homegirls should love me. Your homegirls should love me because I'm giving y'all the game.
No,
I'm giving y'all the game.
All right, guys.
Giving y'all the game.
Thank you so much. For joining us.
If she was 50, I won't be looking for no 50-year-old woman right with me. I'll be looking for a chick that's 36.
Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm gonna have to ring my bell at Freddie one more time. We will be
another
back.
one for Freddie, guys.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And you got another podcast, Babe, Can We Talk? And a dude came over there and pretty much said exactly what I said, but he just said it in an older white man language. So.
Oh my God. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. It's been a great show. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time, same place. We will see you there. Bye.
Peace.